WIRK, Bon Jovi, with their new CD, Lost Highway, coming out June 19th. And John is on the phone with us. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up so early, buddy.
Not a problem. I got the coffee.
This new CD is actually produced. It's got a real Nashville flavor because it's produced by Dan Huff, who's done Rascal Flatts and Carrie Underwood. How was that for you as a departure from what you normally did?
Dan is the best of the best. You didn't mention the Keith Urban records, which he's such an integral part of as well.
Yes.
And he was there the day that I'd come up with the idea to do Who Says You Can't Go Home as a duet, and happened to be there witnessing Keith Urban helping us out in the studio, playing a little, singing a little. That's when I said, this is going to work as a duet. I just got to find somebody with a little less beard than Keith. And good old Jennifer and I, knocked that one out. So Dan was the natural choice for this record. And we thought this was going to be a great experiment, and I think it's turned out to be a heck of a lot more than that. People seem to be really responding to it.
How do you think your diehard Bon Jovi fans from years past are going to react to this new flavor?
Well, I don't know, but in all honesty, I think as an artist, a true artist that's been making records for 25 years, if you don't grow, you're going to start to, wilt away, and you got to be able to just express yourself artistically in order to grow. And I don't think it's that much of a departure. We're not pretending to be something that we're not, but it's good storytelling, and it's a little different instrumentation on occasion.
Right.
But the stories aren't any different than Living on a Prayer, where it's just a guy that's grown up in the public eye 25 years later has something else to say.
And you talk about how many years you guys have been together, and you've reached multi-platinum superstar status. You play, complete stadiums that are sold out. But I don't know if people know this. It's to be around that long and to continue doing that. You guys just like to play. If you had a bar that there were 50 people in, you guys would still like to play.
Well, I do like what I do for a living, which is probably a little different than some folks in the world who don't like going to work. My job's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Well, that's great, because we have a bar that holds 50 people. We'd like you to come play.
Hey, a big appearance on American Idol coming up on May 2nd. What do you think about this whole thing? I mean, as this show has progressed, does it still have credibility when, kids like Sanjaya are still alive and kicking, and who knows, maybe he'll win this thing? I mean, what do you think about American Idol and where it goes from here?
It's an interesting question, and one that I guess I can answer for the first time, because I can honestly tell you, until last Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever the show was on, I had never, ever seen the show.
Wow.
I was sort of proud of that point, that I never wasted an hour of my life sitting in front of
No, I hear you.
the boob tube.
Yep.
But having agreed to do it and knowing just how big an influence it is, my daughter sat me down to watch it. Now, that said, Carrie Underwood is going to have a long career.
Oh, yeah.
So she's come out of there as the example of what works when it works. But my advice prior had always been, you guys better write your own songs, because otherwise you're just karaoke singers.
True.
And I have had a lot of my songs covered by those guys, and, the last guy, Daughtry, broke singing Wanted Dead or Alive. Bo Bice did my songs, and Clay Aikens did songs. And so you sit there and go, okay, they find these songs in publishing catalogs and cover them. Great. But until they start writing their own songs, they're not going to have their own career. And until they have their own career, then they just, that fleeting moment in time.
John, you brought up your family. Now, so often in Hollywood and in entertainment, we hear about marriages that end and they don't, survive. They don't run the gamut, so to speak. You married your high school sweetheart. How do you make that work for as long as you have?
Oh, that's easy. She's a 4th-degree black belt.
Oh, boy.
The truth.
That settles that one.
She can beat my butt.
It probably
she's
has.
Great. I wouldn't trade her in. There's no trading up in this situation. But the truth is, she's a 4th-degree black belt.
All right, bud.
Okay.
The CD is called Lost Highway. It's out June 19th. Good stuff on there. And happy to have you with us again this morning.
Thank you. Well, have yourselves a great morning there in Florida. Wish I were there. It's a little chilly up north.
Come on down.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Hang
Not
on.
a problem.
We got
we'll go to that 50-seat bar, okay?
We got a favor to ask you. Hang on, buddy.